What's up, guys? Um, Pink wins 2-1. Where do I begin? Well, I'll probably forget some things, but Jim, I got your review first. Um, I remember you telling me um, that you did like Pink because of the performance you saw in her on TV. She is very underrated to me as far as both looks and talent. Has been kind of gone now for a while. Don't hear much about Pink anymore. Jim, I'll say this. After you got done talking about Pink, and then you gave your thoughts about the Jay Z Alicia Keys song, the look, the pure, genuine look of, I don't even not sure which word to use, of anger. Like your eyes is something like this. This thing took over you. You were just so. I mean, it was so real how much you did not like that song because of Jay Z. That it shined right through, and it made me laugh. And then hearing your story about what's going on with the house, holy shit, you must be absolutely miserable. And what you said about is taking the joy away from this whole experience, that sucks. That sucks a lot. You and Joy must be so stressed and discouraged. Um, but just think that when everything is resolved and that everything's clear, I think that feeling of exuberance and again joy will just hit you all at once. And so hold on to that. I think that's eventually what's going to happen. And it really sucks that all the crap you're going through with all, like you said, the lawyers and the inspections and this and that. And so that is kind of depressing. But again, in the end, hopefully sooner than later, everything's going to work itself out. And that joy that you talk about will hit you. I said joy a lot there. Jay, um, I get what you say about that song. Here's the thing: when that song, you're right, it was 2009. The main reason I know that is because I remember so clearly 2009 World Series, Phillies Yankees. Jay Z and Alicia Keys performed that song out in center field right before the game. I found it to be so weird. Um, and I just remember them showing Derek Jeter, and he was just like bobbing his head, and it was just so weird that they were doing that at the world. I know it was a whole New York thing, but that's how I know it was 2009. And I'll tell you, that song was so good back then. And to Don's question or point, I couldn't find that song for years, and just for the hell of it, I checked again last night, and I found it. Everything else was just wasn't the original video. It was just choppy, cut up crap. So I was pleasantly surprised when I found that last night. So that's why I submitted it, and I do get it. I don't know if it's held up as well as I would have expected, but when that song was out, and you say it was overplayed, there's a few songs to me that just could not be overplayed, and that was one of them. I loved it so much. Uh, you said that was a Jay Z song. Yeah, yeah. I guess you're right. But and as far as putting up Alicia Keys against Pink in a different song, I don't think there's an Alicia Keys song that I would ever submit because I don't love any of her songs. I like a few of them, but But I'll never submit another song from her because as talented as she is, and I think she's great, uh, none of her songs really like interest me enough to submit one. What else did Jay say? Jay, I mean, your whole thing with the your operation procedure, whatever you want to call it, I forgot what it's called. I get it also as far as you don't want to jump right into because I think you said the first night you just want your regular diet. I can't blame you. I'm sure it's going to be a nerve wracking road to get back into eating regular food, but sounds like everything's going well. So as far as what they're doing, and I would say like hopefully within a couple months at the latest that everything is back to status quo as far as that goes. You mentioned about the hair, the hair thing, and I'm just gonna say something. How much it? You said how much it you dread it, but listen, not that anyone needs advice from my ass, but dude, if your hair's thinning on top, I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, it can be depressing, especially with you since you've always had like a this big, thick head of hair. Well, with what you went through, and uh, I mean, I think a lot about what you must have gone through with that whole episode, and it like it upsets me a lot. I also remember you talked about something happened. I don't know, was it a year or two before that? And I remember when that happened, I was like, "Holy shit, he's lucky to be here." Like, dude, you've escaped it twice, pretty much, at least twice, unless there's another time you haven't mentioned. But so fuck your hair. Like, you're alive, everything's good. But and I'm not trying to downplay the whole hair thing, but it's just I don't know if if my biggest problem was my hair, life would be great. But kudos to you. Like, that's something that's bothering you, and but whatever. I don't know if I'm even making sense, but yeah, yeah, it could be a lot worse things in your hair. So plus, I'm sure it's not going to be thinning anytime soon. As far as you're going to have a bald spot and stuff, but just gradually cut that down. Unlike Don did, who fooled the shit out of me with his fucking Snapchat shit. And the only reason I found that out was because I showed Josh today Don's new haircut, and he's like, funny. Like, he thought I was playing a trick on him. He goes, that's Snapchat or whatever the hell app you had that did that. So Josh told me, he goes, 100% that's not real. So I was fooled up until today, about 2 o'clock. Anyway, Don, it looked pretty good. And then Josh showed me like he did it. He goes, look it. So he took a picture of himself and he was bald. So he showed me how it worked. Unbelievable. Uh, Don, what else did you talk about? Not too much about your coffee. Um, you were the only one that picked that as winner. And I remember you when we went to New York in 2010. I remember you telling me. I remember you and I. Well, I'm sure we were all together, but you and I drifted apart for a minute, and you just looked up and go, "That song is so true." Concrete jungles where dreams are made of. And I just like always kind of sat with me. So I know you kind of dug that song. Um, uh, Good luck with your stuff going on with the house. That's got to be what, another month before you're done with that. Sounds like you have a busy weekend with the sports, and that's great. I swear, for out of all the things I miss with my kids, it's it's sports, man. Whether it was coaching them or just going to practices or especially games, man, that's stuff like like they say, one day was the last day of something and you never knew it. Yeah, yeah. Josh just all of a sudden one day stopped playing sports, and I pushed back a little bit. He just didn't want to do it, and it just brought everybody together too. Besides the obvious of watching him play and cheering him on, and me, mom, and dad, sometimes Diane just drove together and sat in the stands, and you cheer together, and it's so great. Kids sports is just great, and I miss it a lot. Nothing's going on. Work, baseball playoffs. I'll tell you what. It's so dumb having favorite sports teams because I watched that Oakland series so intensely, and you can't even help it. Like you're like, well, I'm not gonna watch. Or like, and the Lakers are playing in the finals, and I would say out of my favorite teams, they're the least one I get into, but they're in the finals, and I'm not obligated, but I feel like it's just what you do. You root for your team. Um, but it's ridiculous. It really is. Jay, I don't know how you did it, but I give you credit for not having favorite sports teams. What else? Anything else? Not really. We're into this crappy weather time. It's dreary, cold, whatever. Here we go. It's fucking circle of life, folks. Circle of life. All right, guys, have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Pink wins 2-1. See ya.